welcome to my channel, and today I have a sort of theatre vlog for you. So I'm not actually going to go and see a show today. I'm actually going to the launch of The Lion, the Witch of the Wardrobe at the Lowry. Now, The Lion, the Witch of the Wardrobe is going to be on at the Lowry over the festive season, so from the 3rd of December till the 11th of January. So they're having a launch event to promote it, and there's going to be some costumes on display, there's going to be some musical performances, there's going to be talks with some of the cast, so it's going to be a really fun day. And they also said there's going to be tea and cake as well. So yeah, really excited. My brother is coming along with me because Lauren's had to work today, and yeah, I'm really excited. I have actually been to a launch event exactly a year ago today. I went to the launch of the tour at Leeds Playhouse, and that was a fantastic event. So if this is anything like that, it's going to be a really fun day. In fact, I'm not even sure if I actually put the video out of the launch event from the Leeds event. So if you want to see that one, I will get that one up as well, if you want to see that one. But yeah, this is going to be a great day. So I'm going to head to the Lowry now, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy the little video.
I first saw this show at Leeds Playhouse in 2017, so I've got quite a long association with it. You may remember we had it in 2021, which shockingly is now 4 years ago, and that was a very successful run. If you remember, it was the year of COVID, and we had 3 Christmas shows that year. We had Stickman, Six, and Lion, Witch in the Wardrobe. And the first company to catch COVID was Stickman, which closed down, and then Six caught it, and that had to close down. And then finally it spread to the company of Lion, Witch in the Wardrobe, which soldiered on manfully for days with understudies. There was one show I remember the stage manager went on stage with a book and played Mr. Timness. It got to a point where the company manager and I were standing on the service road, and we had a wardrobe and a witch, but no lion. And that was the point where we decided that we had to cancel the rest of the shows. And that Christmas we lost half the performances, which was a tragedy. So ever since then we've been working to bring the show back again. And I'm absolutely delighted that it's going to be our main Christmas show this year. It's a fabulous show. You're going to have a lovely hour listening to some of the stories about it. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Michelle, who will be your host for this afternoon.
Well, it is lovely to see you all here. We have literally brought the stage to Salford. You're going to see the puppets, you'll have seen the costumes. You don't have to walk into the wardrobe because the magic of Narnia is right here. So let's begin with We'll Meet Again.
Again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. So keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So please say hello to the folks that I know might belong. We'll be happy to know that you saw me go and singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Absolutely gorgeous. What a way to start off our day with The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Well, please let me welcome the man behind this show, Director Michael Fentiman. Now, how does it feel to be back at the Lowry and at Christmas?
Well, yeah, I mean, as I said, last time I was back at the Lowry, as Steve was saying before, we were in the midst of COVID with various shutdowns and...
various people playing Mr. Tumnus. So it's great to be back, returning in a slightly more brighter time.
And it does seem like a fitting show, this, for the festive season. You know, it just feels so magical.
Oh yeah, and we've been running it through the summer, so all the warm weather coats you see around the room in the middle of June give off a very different type of energy. So we've actually sort of found a way of making it kind of an all year round family fiesta, but of course right in the centre of Christmas, with Christmas being a huge feature of the show itself, and the turn from Christmas into spring being such a big part of the show. Of course it's perfect that we land here.
I would have it all year round, because I've got to say I'm a big fan of the book, the movie, the stage show. I've got to let you know, I was Susan when I was about 15 years old, so it feels very close to my heart, this does, Michael, and if you need a stand-in, I'm here, maybe a little bit older.
You can do Aslan.
What's that?
You can do Aslan like the...
Are you talking about my main?
the films, is it Glenn Close who's playing Aslan in the Greta Gerwig, am I right? Same thing. Generally.
It has been a favourite of not just me, of lots of people who are here today and around the world. And so, is there a real pressure to get it right for those fans and the audience?
Yeah. So lots of people have a very intimate relationship to memories from their childhood of certain stories. And Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, we're now in its 75th year, but what's been extraordinary is how many generations of people I meet that talk about their first contact with it, and often it's like a parent reading a chapter at bedtime, and those feeling really, really intimate and magical experiences in people's childhood. And that goes right up to, there's a very well-known illusionist called Paul Keeve, who, one thing that sort of sparked his relationship to magic, and he works in Vegas now and all that sort of stuff, is memories of his mum talking to him about Lucy entering into a wardrobe, and then suddenly from that wardrobe being conjured into winter, and that led him to create Illusions of David Copperfield. And so lots of people have got these very intimate relationships as adults with this thing from their childhood. And so a bit of the background of that was that we sort of set to work initially on the show in 2020, due to open in the September, October of 2020. And then, of course, COVID happened, and we ended up moving it to the following year, where a bit of COVID happened. And what that meant was we were sort of locked away via Zoom, the team and myself, we were locked away via Zoom calls, poring over the material. And of course, as soon as you start, you're like, wow, man, every single page is the presentation of some sort of challenge, some sort of act of magic. And so we set about working out how to solve those various different acts of magic, be that moving forward and backward in time in a way that feels like time is a real thing, be that resurrections and deaths and various vanishings, or be that the act of bringing a lion to life, right? All those things. Pretty much every page or every other page, there's a challenge presented. And actually, on some level, if there hadn't been the pandemic in 2020, we as a team wouldn't have the time to storyboard it in the detail we did. And so hopefully what we have as a show is a really faithful rendition of the book that moves with all the beats of the book and honours it while also remaining sort of nimble and fleet of foot.
Well, it's not just that as well, it's making it appeal to both children and adults on both levels. And how did you do that?
Well, so I have a long history of doing stuff for both. I sort of spent a long time at the Royal Shakespeare Company, but also around the same time I'd spend my Christmases doing pantomimes, Lorraine Chase in Swindon, big names, huge gigs. I did pantomime for like 15 years, and also worked a lot in making shows for young people and children. So I've always had that sort of experience. And the one thing I think has been brilliant about this is often when you make stuff for children, there feels like a pressure for it to be colourful, right? Funny at all points, and sort of big. So lots of face pulling and jumping about and shouting and various things like that, because the idea is, well, that's how you may best hold the attention of a child. And what has been absolutely ground shaking for me in this, because during this also I've had a child myself, followed his journey watching things, is that kids don't always need that. They can respond to tension and wonder and transformation in a way that is really sophisticated, and they can smell lying, they can smell fakery. So the way we present young people on the stage, our actors aren't really trying to imitate what they think a young person behaves like, they're trying to capture a spirit. Because kids can smell the phony. My 3-year-old can smell phony. He knows. He's like a snake, he can spot it a mile off. What's been brilliant, I've seen matinees of this show up and down the country now over a really, really long journey with various different permutations of cast. And there is nothing better than arriving on a Wednesday matinee in, let's say, Bristol, Manchester, and you've got 1,500, 2,000 8-year-olds there, right? There's no laugh for a long time in this show, deliberately. There's no big applause points for a long point. Deliberately, they are at the edge of their seat and they are held. And then I come back occasionally when I'm not got anything to do with my Saturday nights, Friday nights, like I did in Bristol last week, and there are people on dates and people taking their sort of grandparents and these things with intimate memories of that story from when they were young. Not a 7-year-old in the house, held at the edge of their seat in exactly the same way. And that is magic. That is magic. journey for us, people, storytellers, to see that play out over the years.
And it is great that it resonates with so many people, like you say, and it creates that wonder in them. But part of the wonder is what we're seeing here, not just the performances, but the costumes around the room and the detail when you look at them. It's so incredible. You've got outfits over there like Mr. Tumnus, and it's a flight jacket, so you are incorporating World War II, aren't you, in the costumes of those animals and those creatures?
Yeah, so we tried to make Narnia a kind of shadow world of the world the kids are escaping. So on some level you feel like Narnia is a reflection of the trauma that the real world faces, and there's a layer of that in the C.S. Lewis, because of course Lewis understood war, like Tolkien, who was one of his contemporaries. They understood what it was like to have a community shaped by war, and those reflections sort of carry right through their writing on every level, and so we wanted the production to do that. I mean, to be honest, whenever I look at the costumes, or like I look at the instruments, or I look at I look at that hat, right? So like for 4 years, that helmet has been on various different heads, right? And that, that scarf I sort of recognise, and that hat I recognise, and that sketch I recognise over the years, and in the music you're about to hear, so much of it is in my memory, stained by the efforts that took to give it the detail to get it to that point, because it has genuinely been a labour. And then at times a labour of love, and then I haven't been through a labour, but I've witnessed it, and sort of painful labour, but it has been a labour, and what we're left with is a very, I hope it doesn't appear like that, but to make it, it's a very detailed, rich thing, like the worlds of the books are.
You felt every contraction, and then afterwards you had a cup of tea with some toast, didn't you?
Gin and tonic. Gin and tonic in the company manager's office, normally, with an ibuprofen.
Now, like any proud father then that has had that labour and born this production, what is your proudest illusion that we're going to see?
Today, or in the show?
In the show.
Oh, mine is really simple, actually. So obviously there's loads of magic, right? People vanishing or whatever. But I suppose the thing I am proudest of when the thing is... So this is going to sound... So some people make a decision to not talk about their work because it makes them sound pretentious. So I don't think Ben Kingsley likes talking about acting because he's aware he sounds ridiculous when he does it. So I'm aware what I'm about to say sounds ridiculous. But we make a leap through the wardrobe together. The proudest thing for me is something really, really simple. When the show is calibrated and all of the other noise that's around it, because of the complexity of it, subsides, there are moments that are sort of different every performance where a company of people playing music together and singing together and moving together as one connect, right? I always say that one breath, one group, right? And it's so fractional. It is so fractional and it's so hard to maintain. But when that happens, when a group aren't caught on themselves and they are with each other and they are in the music and they are in the movement as a collective rather than as an individual, something vibrates that is unbelievable. It transcends. It is an unbelievable magic, unlike anything we do with, Turkish Delight. It is so special. And it's elusive and it vanishes and it comes back and it elusive and it vanishes and it comes back. But that is my proudest thing. There are moments here with our multi-skilled company, and they are really genuinely multi-skilled, where stuff just becomes about a group and it lifts. And then the audience, I've seen the show various times, but 2,000 people lean forward and they lift with it. That is the magic for me.
Well, that's powerful and they are incredible. So, shall we take a look?
No.
I've been to another world with snow, and a lamppost, and a wood, and a fawn called Mr. Tumnus lives in a tree. Is that rich? And what, pray?
The lion walks once more. All shall fall under the lion's paw. Once a king or queen in Narnia, always a king or queen in Narnia. It is time!
Oh, it is time now then to introduce one of the puppeteers of the show. Please welcome Rhodri Watkins. Oh, Rhodri, lovely to have you here. I mean, the puppets are incredible in this show. So much so that you watch it and you forget that anybody is controlling them. How does it feel to be handling them?
Yeah, I mean, like you said there, we're not hiding the puppeteers, which is beautiful for us, and we sort of blend into the background, and you have to keep your focus on the lion, as you do in Aslan, for example. But to then be involved in it, and you can hear all all the audience is silent. They're just involved. They're just watching, and you can feel that. You can't see them because you're focused so much on the lion, or if you're in the heart, all you can see is just marks on the floor or feet, basically. But you feel the energy from the audience, which for us as puppeteers is such a beautiful thing to experience.
Because you play a number of different roles in here, and I thought what was really interesting is before this, you hadn't been a puppeteer. This is all new. You're actually in Back to the Future, aren't you?
Yeah, before this it was mostly like jukebox musicals, like Mamma Mia, Flashdance, like all those movie musical sort of things. And this was my first ever puppeteer job. Thank you, Michael.
I saw Rhodri in Mamma Mia. He was gorgeous. Really tanned.
That was a long time ago.
Did he have his little trunks on?
He had his little trunks on. Tanned. It was lovely.
We're not going to see the trunks in this though, are we?
We can arrange it something.
Okay. I'm in. But let's go back to the intensity rather than the trunks. What was that like, training to do this?
Well, we didn't really have that much time to learn it. There's so much in this show, as you've already seen. You have like beautiful acting, you have the singing, you have the actor musos playing like this beautiful score, and then to learn all of that, and also we're dancing in it as well. So we sort of learned it at the end of the day, sometimes like 2 or 3 times in the 5 weeks that we had. So it was really quite an intense process for us, because none of us had any experience before. But Ollie, who taught us it, was very so patient with us. He never sort of tried to rush us through it. If we ever wanted to go back and redo something, we'd go and redo it. We sort of had to he had to strip it back for us, and we had to learn like the basics of puppeteering, so it's like breath, weight, focus, like all of that. We had to really like channel into that.
There's so much to consider. Michael, tell us a little bit about kind of building on that process.
Well, so, 2 things actually. What is worth acknowledging is that we sort of knew there wouldn't be enough time in the rehearsals for the guys to fully get to where they would get to in the end. And so one of the things we were keen to look for was a kind of generosity, actually, like beyond all the technical skills, and the guys are really technically adept and skilled, was a kind of spirit of generosity, because if you have that spirit of generosity, you can keep working, right? And actually, it's fair to say of Andrew, Molly and Rhodri is that their generosity has meant that they've kind of kept chipping away, but really they've been upskilling and training and getting better and better and better and better and better right the way through, God, how long now? 11 months of working on the show, and ever growing. And for me, that, and lots that happens across the show with lots of different individuals, but they've really grown into it, and that has been really, really brilliant to watch, to see people take on a real challenge, and they've just grown and grown and grown and grown and grown, and that is down to ultimately their work ethic and their generosity. I'd say a bit about, it's worth saying a bit about how we sort of started the puppetry in the show. So I'd done The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe previously, 12 years previously in Kensington Gardens. I co-directed it with Rupert Gould, and we had a sort of full four-legged lion business. And I remember there was and the idea for the production was in a big tent with 360-degree projection, and we teched the show for a month. And in week one we had no projection. And I thought, this is going to be quite good. This will be all right. We're kind of going to get away with this. That's what you always feel when you're working on a show. We're going to get away with this. And then the projection came on, and I was like, we're dead. We're completely dead. This is going to be, we're dead. So no matter how much we try and save it, we're dead. We're fundamentally dead. And the reason we were dead at that point, well, I mean, we opened, we didn't die, but we died, was because the projection world meant that what we were trying to do was complete the picture, right? But of course, because of people's very particular emotional memories of the books, you can never quite do that. You can't quite fill it in, you know. Even on some level, there's something more charming about the BBC films that are a little bit, the BBC series, right, of Narnia. It's a little bit more analogue than the big Disney production that fills in all the pieces. But on stage, we can't quite do that. And the last time I'd done it, we had attempted to, and it'd been a bit of a failure in that regard. And so I worked with actually the same puppet designer who learnt with it, like Max Humphrey, learnt from the mistakes of our previous production called Max, and a puppet director called Toby Ollier. And I suppose we were keen to honour the idea that we didn't want to complete the picture. So we wanted to be the seed of the tree in the audience's imagination, not the tree itself. That was something we really held dear. So when we workshopped, we thought, well, let's not think about Aslan for a moment. Let's think about our first puppet, which is Schrodinger the cat. And we thought, well, could we do the cat with like a jumper, right? Like, could that be magical in its own way? So like we started for about 2 days doing this. So if you just take your cat, give us a little meow. And we thought, is there a simple magic in that? You know? Have a little wander over to me, Rhodri. Okay. Give my leg a sniff. Come up here. Come on. Up you come. There you go. There you go, right? The idea that we could take a simple thing and invest in it, and you know, people might find a certain magic in it. Don't complete the picture. Go on, go home. Find your litter. It's not really magic. So we sort of ran with that for a bit, and in the rehearsal room that felt really magical and great, and we felt really pleased with ourselves and really like, yeah, I'm doing Disney. And it just wasn't quite enough. We sort of quickly realised it wasn't quite enough. So the development on from that was something more complete, but still in its nature incomplete. So this is our actual show now. Come on. It obviously doesn't have legs.
Oh, I love you. Lovely. The professor will be wondering where you are, though. You can stay here all the time. Oh, Schrodinger! Wow!
And you didn't notice the very handsome man with blonde hair, did you? That vanished. That young athletic guy was invisible to us.
That was actually Andrew Davison. Please give it up for Andrew. It is just incredible. We saw Schrodinger there. I've got to ask about the man, Aslan. How many puppeteers does it take to create the majesty of Aslan?
Well, there's a team of 3 actually controlling the puppet, but the whole Aslan team includes Stanton. And we sort of worked. Stanton was off doing script stuff and like music stuff while we were doing puppetry stuff, and then we sort of came together and worked out where we were looking and all the lines and stuff. But as Michael said, we sort of throughout the 11 months had this opportunity to sort of build on our performances, and to this day, like, Stanton comes in and says to me, can we try this? And then we'll give it a go, and if we like it, it's nothing big, it's like a look here or there, a breath or something like that. So as a team, all together, there's 4 of us, and we're quite a good team, aren't we?
We worked out that we sort of, in that sort of the Aslan exploratory stuff, like, so puppets can do things that human beings can't, in terms of their magic and their sort of arrest, and human beings do things that puppets can't. So obviously in the original Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe I did, we had a puppet voiced by David Suchet. I remember David saying to me when he was recording me, he said, Mike, Rupert, do you want it more lion-y? Voice of Aslan. We sort of practiced with David as a sort of more lion-y voice, which sounds like Poirot, but lower. Right? And it was cool. It just sounds amazing. It's an amazing exercise. But there was something about trying to make that puppet talk. There was something that felt really off, and so kind of in his Dark Materials way, we sort of thought, well, could we marry the human and its animus or its projection of something in itself? And so, like really simply, the lion is the animal strength, the beast, the spirit of the human self, right? So so in ours, the lion puppet and the lion man separate from each other before Aslan has to face his potential death. So it's just a human left to die. And then Aslan, when brought back from the dead, says, I feel my power returning, and the lion returns. So we tried to find a way of having this happy hybrid of getting the best of what a puppet can do for us emotionally, and also what a human being can do. That's part of the reason why we have 4 people on it.
That moment scarred me for life as a child, because my mum only let me read 1 chapter a night, and at the end of the chapter, the stone table happened. I cried for 24 hours until the next night I realised he's back again.
Occasionally you get like a little flurry of conversation at the point of Aslan's death, because it's then immediately quite quiet. So occasionally you just hear like a 6-year-old asking mother to decode what that means. You know, they go, mum sometimes goes, you know, he's dead, son.
Well, on that note, let's lighten the mood a little bit, because Christmas has come early. Thank you so much, Rhodri. Yes, we are going to transport you now to the Christmas season. This is the point that marks Father Christmas finally appearing in Narnia. He's bringing hope and presents, and the witch's power is weakening. So please enjoy Myra the Gift Giver, a song that captures the spirit of magic, generosity, and the joy at the heart of Christmas, and at the heart of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. him. I want his hat. I want his outfit. I want everything. Thank you, Father Christmas. Have you got a present? Give us a wave. Oh, I bet you didn't expect that when you came to the Lowry. Oh, lovely. Right, well, let's introduce some more characters to the stage and the people behind them. So please give a warm welcome to Katy Stephens, the White Witch, and also we have Bunmi Osadolor, who plays Edmund. Now, Bunmi, I'm going to come to you first because I think the burning question from everyone in this audience is, do you like Turkish Delight?
Do I like Turkish Delight? No, I don't like it.
Well, you have to learn to like it, I guess.
I do. Well,
This is your first production. This is your stage debut.
stage debut, yeah. It's a mad feeling, it's a crazy feeling, it's a nice feeling.
Yeah, and Katy, this is something that is an amazing production to be in, and it's also something where you get to work with Michael again, because it's 16 years that you've worked together.
Yeah, we've been working on and off with each other for quite a long time, yeah. I'm a sucker for punishment.
What's my nickname when you first met me?
I'm Jackpot. We used to call him Jackpot because when I was working with Michael Boyd at the Royal Shakespeare Company, Michael was his assistant on As You Like It. And he used to wear these jogging bottoms with like pockets full of change and phone, and every time he used to sit down he used to get so nervous, so everything used to fall out of his pockets. All these coins used to kind of go all over the floor, so we nicknamed him Jackpot.
Brilliant, lovely.
What a journey I've come on to.
Absolutely. There's no joggers today though, but you've got your hoodie on, haven't you?
Well, yeah, brand.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm on brand as well. I'm feeling the colour of Aslan. Now, I should be scared of you, the White Witch. What a character to play. What is it like for you as an actress to be the Queen?
It's a real honour to play her. I mean, she's such an iconic role. It's weird, it's nice to be hated. You know, it's quite exciting on stage to be absolutely despised by about 1,000 school children. So, although I know out there sometimes I do have some secret fans. You know, there's no doubt that sometimes some of the naughty boys and girls are on my side. So.
Yeah, we do like those dark creatures, and I've got to say, I mean, that is an impressive cloak there, but it also looks really heavy. What is it like to move in that?
Yeah, I think it weighs about 4.5 stone.
Really?
Yeah, it's really, really heavy. But luckily, because I am the Queen, I don't actually have to do much walking myself. We have this incredible contraption which we call the jib, and I suppose it looks a bit like Second World War fire engine. And I get carted around on that quite a lot by my brilliant colleagues. So actually the walking I have to do in it is quite minimal, and I'm really lucky with the costume department as well, because I take the coat off one side of the stage, walk round to the other, and then bless her, my poor dresser, G, she has to pick it up in a basket and carry it round. So the person you should really ask about the coat is G, really.
It's like a workout, isn't it?
Yeah.
There was another version that got stolen in Glasgow. So we had that's the actual one. Same thing. In Scotland. That's a joke. But that's the show version, and there used to be a version that would do events like this, and it was stolen by someone that sort of broke into the theatre.
Yeah, it was a kind of homeless person had broken into the festival theatre during the night and had stayed the night in the theatre and left with the coat. And they asked him to bring the coat back, and he said, well, I don't know where it is now. He said, but I can bring you back another coat.
It's not the same thing, is it? But I mean,
hard to lose.
You'd think that you would notice somebody walking down the street in that coat.
So it's somewhere on the streets of Edinburgh, no one knows where.
Oh, fantastic, absolutely. I'm going to come back to you, Bunmi. We saw the puppets just now with Andrew and Rhodri. What is it like working with puppets?
So like working with puppets.
Are you on stage with them much?
I'm on stage with Schrödinger and then Aslan at the end. So yeah, it's because when I'm in Edmund's head, there's a moment where Aslan's in front of me and I don't in the show, I don't know who Aslan is. So when I first see him at the first time, it's like, oh my God, this is Aslan everyone's been talking about. It's like, and then we have the actor musicians playing on stage. So it's like a magical and just a crazy feeling like, oh my God, we've been talking about Aslan for so long and he's finally here in front of me. So it's an amazing feeling, it's a nice feeling, and yeah, it's hard to describe, but it's just a crazy feeling when you're on stage.
In the pandemic, we had so many people just like COVID, like madness. We would have to get people in to like cover the swings, to like keep the show moving. And I remember there was one night in I can't remember, Wickham or somewhere, where I was the tail of the lion, and I phoned like mates and said, can you just like do things like, yeah, can you just be in Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe tonight? And they hadn't seen it. And my friend Emma, I forgot to tell her that the lion, so basically the big lion entrance, I forgot to tell her what was happening. I just told her she had to move something at a certain point because that was all there was the time to do. And so a bit like Bunmi's describing in the story, he doesn't know who Aslan is at that point in the story. My poor mate Emma is dressed as like some sort of supernumerary rabbit, which I hadn't explained to her when she arrived either. She sort of looks to her right, and this massive lion is in front of her, and everyone's singing around her, and she didn't know what on earth was going on because I hadn't warned her. She was sort of unbelievably confused and burst out crying. It was a really lovely moment. A bit like Bunmi for the last 11 months.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say to that one. Wow.
It's unfollowable.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your favourite scene to play then, Katy, as the White Witch?
Oh gosh, do you know what? Actually, my favourite scene is not as the White Witch. My favourite moment in the whole play is when the 4 Pevensey siblings are crowned. And it's so beautifully played by all the actors that play the Pevenseys, and the music around that moment is so beautiful. And there's a lot of talk about how, Narnia is now rejuvenated, the rivers have started to run again, now spring is back, everything is starting to grow again. And it's so hopeful, and I think that for me is the most beautiful moment in the whole play. And I'm just dressed as a mole, putting the crown, helping to crown the children. But it's the most beautiful moment of the play, and I think if I was in the audience, I would leave after that moment absolutely buzzing. It's beautiful, it's really moving, and I feel genuinely choked up nearly every show.
I'm so proud you say that, because when I offered Katy the job, it came with White Witch / Mauve Mole, and I got a phone call that said, Katy's agent's questioning the mole. And I was playing crazy golf, and I took a phone call from Katy to explain Mauve Mole, and I said, Katy, I think you'll love it. I think it's like an act of being there in the company and witnessing a thing as a group of actors as well as a character. So be the mole. And Katy's like, okay, I'll be the mole. So that's really moving.
Well, I did actually say, but no ears.
No ears. Yeah. Eyesight issues. That's fine.
You can play a mole, but you also get an absolutely fantastic crown as well as the White Witch.
Yeah. And that's really, the crowns are really clever actually. I don't know how much the audience noticed, but I have 3 different crowns. So as with the return of Aslan and with the return of spring to Narnia, my crowns melt. So I start off with a really high one, which is maybe about a foot and a half high. And then by the end, I've just got these wee stumpy little icicles on my head. It's really, really clever, and I hope the audience notice.
Well, we definitely will notice. Please give it up for the wonderful Michael, Katy, and Bunmi. Stay there for a moment, because we are talking about that moment that the ice is beginning to melt, so it was quite apt that you mentioned the crown there. The snow has melted. We are in Narnia where hope is stirring and a powerful presence awakens. Our next song, The Lion Walked, brings the strength and majesty of Aslan to life. A reminder that even in the darkest winter, spring is always on its way.
to rising east, the lion walks once more. From the unmade dark, let loose the sun. For the lion walks, the lion walks, the lion walks once more.
For coming today. We can't wait at the Lowry for this production to come. As you can see, it's here from the 3rd of December until the 11th of January 2026. Thank you.
Hi, so it's now much later and I've been back from the event for a while. But what a good event. It was so good. I've really enjoyed it. Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe team definitely know how to put on a good event, because the one that I saw in Leeds exactly 1 year ago today was amazing too. So these are probably my best events that I've been to, are the Lion, the Witch and Wardrobe ones. So yeah, it was really good. When we got there, there was all like cakes on the table. They were bringing around tea and coffee, and there was scones and a lot of pots of jam and cream on the table. So it was really nice, a really nice like little tea and cake before the event started. And when the event started, we had a chat with the director, Michael Fentiman. So he discussed about the show and how long he's been working on it and stuff. And you will have seen all that in the video. And then we had some performances. So the first performance was We'll Meet Again, which you'll have seen, and wasn't expecting them to be all around. So I don't know how well you saw in the video, but literally the cast were all around the room. If you don't know, the cast in this are all actor musicians, so they play the instruments as well. So they were all around the room playing all the instruments. It was so lovely. It was really, really nice. Obviously I couldn't catch all of them because of where I was sat. I couldn't stand up because I'd be in the way to see, so I won't have been able to record to show you everyone that was there that was playing the instruments, but it sounded fantastic. It was really, really good. So after that song, we then spoke to Rhodri Watkins, who is one of the puppeteers. So he sort of talked all about the puppets and stuff, which you will have heard. So that was really interesting, hearing all about that. And then there was another song, we had Myra the Gift Giver, and I love that song. It's so catchy. It's a really fun point in the show, and yeah, it was so well performed. It was really good, and he actually gave out presents to people. So he was actually going around tables giving people presents, which was really fun. And again, really enjoyed that performance. It was so well done. Again, all the cast were around playing the instruments and stuff, and it just sounded fantastic. It was such a show. And then after that performance, obviously we then spoke to a couple of cast members. So we had Katy Stephens, who plays Jardish the White Witch, and then we also had Bunmi Osadolor, who plays Edmund. So we had a chat with them, was talking about their character and things. Heard some really interesting things. And then there was the final performance, which was the best one. I really loved this song. It's called The Lion Walks. It's a beautiful song, and performed live, like stood right there. It was amazing. And of course, during that song, Aslan comes out. I don't know if I got a really good video of Aslan, but it's a gorgeous puppet. It's really nice. It was really nice to see it close up. Obviously I have seen it before at the previous press launch, but it was really good to see it. My brother was really impressed. My brother is a hard one to please. He's not a massive fan of theatre, but he really enjoyed himself. So that just goes to show how good this show is. And also, since being back, I've shown Alice clips, and she really wants to go and see it now. So I'm gonna see maybe if I can take Alice, because she is the right age. By the time it comes, she will have just turned 8. So I think this starts on the 3rd of December and she turns 8 on the 2nd of December. So she's the perfect age really to go and see it. So I think I might take her. I was worried she might be a little bit scary for her, because I have seen the show and there is a few little scary bits. But I think she'll be okay, and she does really want to go, so we'll see. I might take her to see it, because it's a fantastic show. Me and Lawrence have both already seen it. I saw it in Leeds and Lawrence saw it in Liverpool. We both absolutely loved it, so I'm so excited for it to come over the festive season. It's the perfect time to go and see it, and yeah, I can't wait for it to come. It's such a good show. If you haven't got tickets already for it, get tickets, because you will not be disappointed. Out of all the shows that are on in and around Manchester over Christmas, this is the best one. I'd say this is the one to go and see. It's the one that I'll definitely be going to see. So we did get a few little gifts on the table when we got there. So we got this little box of chocolate covered Turkish Delight. So I was going to give this to Alice and Leo, but they're so fussy. They don't like anything that's like jelly vibe. They don't like Haribo sweets or anything like that. They only like chocolate, so they didn't like it. So that means I got 2 boxes, because I got one for both of them. And then they also gave us these little hot chocolate things, but Alice just wants to eat the chunk of chocolate, so she can do that if she wants. But yeah, we got that as well, and then like a little bookmark. So yeah, it was a fantastic day. It was a great launch, and like I said, definitely get tickets to see it. It is a fantastic show. I'll definitely be going again. If you want to read a review of it before you decide on whether to get tickets or not, I wrote a 5-star review for it when I saw it in Leeds. It's the same production, but obviously it was a year ago when I saw it. It only just started the tour, so I bet it's even better now from when I saw it at the beginning of the tour. So I'll link that down below in case you want to read that. But yeah, so excited for it to come over the Christmas period. It's going to be great. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little vlog of the launch. If you have, please do give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.